XTCG Kingdom here, bringing you my next themed deck, Mayhem, Alice in Wonderland. It's a Sapphire and Amethyst deck, based around Alice in Wonderland, of course. We'll see if it can win. Let's check out the deck, shall we? And here we are. This is the deck that features the Alice in Wonderland archetype from the movie. I had to put more cards in here to support the combination of Amethyst and of Sapphire. So we have some DuckTales cards, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, to help our draw engine go off and get some more support. Our big Alice that's trying to give everybody support and just keep the boards clear. We have our new Alice from Inklands, which is the one that's called Alice Alchemist, and she lets you turn her sideways so that or exert her, so you can target any character on your opponent's side of the field with the name, even if it's sharing name, and exert them all so that you can challenge into them using your support abilities right off the bat. You also have the Croquet Mallet, one of Alice in Wonderland's items that never gets usually used. What it can do is you can banish it and give any character you just play Rush, which actually can come up a lot. The Pinocchio package in here is just in here to turn character sideways without having to exert more information for it. And we're going to start with some of the gameplay, showing off some of this here. We are going to try to ink as much of our dead cards as we can. Let's try to get some turn 1, turn 2 plays. We are hopefully going to play the Alice and not just rely on the normal Amethyst package of Madam Mims and Snakes and just go from there. We're up against a Amethyst Steel deck, and that's going to be a real hard one for us because they can get rid of our characters really easy with direct damage cards like that one, Fire the Cannons. We are now down a turn 1 play, and we are going, or turn 2 play, sorry. We're going to start trying to bring out our big Alice so that we can start having her sing songs and possibly give other characters support while trying to avoid the hook from coming into her. We're getting ready with our Madam Mim in hand to return our Alice to our hands so that we don't worry about losing it. Now our opponent is going to get a bunch of advantage off on the board to try to get more questing in while we sing with our Alice. With the card Friends on the Other Side, we had to get rid of another Friends on the Other Side, and we bounced her back with Madam Mim Fox so that we can try to reuse her again. While our opponent is now ramping up on all the ink that they're going to be getting and on all the lore they're going to be getting by just playing as many characters down as they can. While we are still at 0, we're trying to get more set up here so that we can get some big characters off, and we got a Madam Mim Fox combo here. We're trying to get some characters that will help deal with the board out with the Rafiki, and while we're trying to ink, we are just trying to, let's say, turtle it. Way to take a lot of the damage before we start ramping up and doing a lot more things back to our opponent. They're going to get off a lot of other things in the game here, while we are trying to force down their other characters that we don't want questing too often with the Baja, with the Pinocchio, getting rid of that with the Babin Fox, and then getting rid of the other Fox with our Rafiki, and then trying to do the Madam Mim combo and return the other Fox back to the hand so we can keep going with the Fox plays. We aren't getting lore from this, but it is a way to help us keep board control. They are dropping a Merlin to get some draws. I don't have a very big draw engine in this deck, but it does come up every so often. We have drawn into a Cogsworth, but we're going to save that for later. We're going to bring out the Pinocchio, tap down the hook that's been trying to wait for us to be in a really bad spot, and then just ink a Caterpillar and bring out another Pinocchio. And hopefully this time the Pinocchio can stay on the field. And it doesn't. And it's immediately killed by the Along Came Zeus, which I don't mind having that one card being traded off for my little Pinocchio. If that didn't cost me that much to get it. They dropped a Queen's Castle, and I want to start getting rid of that as fast as I can. And then I was here trying to figure out if I wanted to stay on theme and play the Alice or get some more lore out really quickly with the Caterpillar. I choose the Caterpillar because I am going to be getting really far back in the lore while this castle is out. The Merlin won't be sitting here very much longer. It's going to start getting some draws, and with that, we have another Mimfox to Mimfox to trade in, and then another draw from the Merlin. They're only staying in play now just because of the Merlin. I just now draw into the Alice, and I'm going to start showing off what the Alice can do after I quest for this turn. We are going to let the pass and then see what they got. They power boost their Merlin to kill my Cogsworth, which is very unfortunate. I really wanted to keep it at least for a little bit longer, but that's just how it is. And I drew into another one. I'm just going to play it out, and then I'll start questing with the characters I have on board. I don't need to challenge too much into their board except for to get rid of the Merlin. I want them to force the draw so they don't get a chance to quest and get more off that Merlin. Now they just have the Crab Merlin out on the field, and we are going to see what they can do now. They drop another rabbit. So I guess they drew into the rabbit Merlin, and that's just back to square one where they can just keep drawing off more and more and more. I'm at a point where I can play anything I draw off the top of my deck, so I'm not too worried about not being able to have much draws off. They try to go for the Caterpillar, my Cogsworth is saving him from being killed. I use my ability of my Alice to hop down the fox, so in case there's a fox shift in his hand, I get rid of it. And that's the only reason why I turn my Cogsworth, and I'm very close to having game here while they're still focused on my board and trying to deal with it. They're right now trying to figure out what they want to do while I'm showing off some of the cool little Alice in Wonderland themed cards I'm playing with. They get rid of their crab and make their Merlin stronger, and they challenge it to my Pinocchio that has been exerted by the Pinocchio on their side, and I question that because now I have a five lower characters out, and I can just draw into the Mim and then play out the Caterpillar. They tap down the Caterpillar because they don't want my Caterpillar giving me a win here, but they don't target my Alice for any kind of attacks or do anything really big against it. And she has 2 lore, and she can win me the game by herself, and that's why I say good game to this person and say well played, and we're done. They are going to just concede at that point, and we're moving on to the next game. We are going to fix our hand up a little bit more. I was trying to go for a little bit more of a lore heavy play here in this game, and it didn't work out too well with my starting hand because I didn't get too many inkable things to bring out right away. I do draw into a popsicle, so that was good, but I had to get rid of one of my Caterpillars. And I'm up against the Steel Song deck. I don't know if I would win at this point because it's Steel Song and I don't have really much to deal with that. I have some combos with the Pinocchios to try and force down the Cinderellas and try and killing them if I can keep guys on field to do that. But with all song decks, there's a large amount of songs they can sing to get rid of your board as much as they can. My opponent is also, after discovering throughout the gameplay here, not sure how to play this deck. They are new to it, which is unfortunate for me because this is how easy this deck can be played if you just read your cards. And they end up doing that. I don't have any turn 2 play that I want to do right yet, so they bring out an Aerial and they don't get anything off of it, which is awesome. They managed to whiff off that, and then they started questing with their characters. I'm trying to get the Caterpillar out so that I can start bouncing things back my hand and making or just questing with it, giving it a like large amount of a threat on it. I should have, after drawing into the Alice, played the Alice instead, because with the only 3 characters out, they don't have enough characters to play some of the songs to kill the Alice, but they do have enough to kill the Caterpillar. And that's what's going to happen here, is they're going to do another direct damage card, which is the Strength of Raging Fire. They will do that against my Caterpillar. I'm telling you this a little bit sooner because they are taking forever because they don't know this deck at all. But it is a deck that you don't really need to think to play, unfortunately. You can just read the cards and you're done. The deck is not bad. I'm not dissing the Steel Song deck. It's just that it's not a lot of thinking required in the deck. You just play songs and quests, and then control the board. That's all you have to do. So this person doesn't know how to play it though, but I'm still trying to now see what I can do with my hand. It's going to be a Louis down. I use the item that I played earlier. That lets me rush my characters out really fast. I'm going to heal up my Louis so that I don't suffer from an attack on the character, and hopefully they don't get killed off with a kill item. I'm waiting for my opponent to go. They're doing their ink. And then they have 2 people that can sing songs now, and especially if they shifted into the queen, which they probably did not. They sung the 1 card for the Extraordinary John and then traded in their queen for my Louis. I decided to play out my Pocket Watch to get ready for another turn, and I am pushing down the Robin Hood. I'm trying to get this all set up so that I can start doing fast attacks against the characters that they play with the Snake or the Alice, but it's still very downhill from here because my characters can't do this. They accidentally shift on top of their own Robin Hood instead of playing it, which is another reason why I think the person here is new to this deck and not sure how to play it. They didn't quest with other characters. I get another part of the duck engine, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to do that, the duck play. I do use my Pocket Watch to make it so that my men can attack right away. I use Huey, and then I start to draw cards with my friends on the other side. And then pass to my opponent. I draw another one of my Alice's, which would have been really awesome to use earlier, but I have no chance to get that out now. They ink their queen that they have in their hand, and then they just do 2 damage to my fox from the Simba and kill it. This is another thing I know why they are just copying somebody else's deck and using it and not sure how to use it, because that is a new card from the new builds of the Steel Song, and not a lot of people are used to that yet. So I'm just trying to drop characters. I am trying to get any kind of lore in this one, but it's all downhill from this point forward on my end. Maybe there's some decks we can do to fix this, or some cards that we can do to fix this deck, and hopefully make it a little bit faster and more on theme. But I think that some of the cool cards that I'm discovering here is Alice, the Alchemist one, because she can turn down both of those like Robin Hoods if she was out on the field, and if I had things out that were big enough to kill it, I could just kill them even while they were played. Unfortunately, attacking those guys, they get a draw, but this is pretty much it here at the end. We'll move on to our next one, and we're going to get a big uninkable card pool in our hand here, and I keep getting a lot of the friends on the other sides of my hands, and it's just really weird that I get 2 per game here. So I'm getting rid of one of them, bring out my popsicle. I have the start of my like Huey Dewey Louie combo, so I'm getting that set up. I am inking things I don't need, like the Merlin Goat, and then bringing out Huey, and then hopefully drawing into the next part of the combo, because I am now revealing that my play is to do that and play the combo of the brothers. I don't see anything for it, so I decide to ink the Caterpillar, quest with my Louie, make the fairy stronger, but I'm going to bounce the Mad Moon Fox and then do a special play where you're playing the Alice card that lets your Fox attack right away and get rid of their shiftable target, because they are on 2 and then they would have shifted it to 3. I heal up my snake and then make it harder for them to play while I have saved my Louie from, pretty sure it's Louie, from being killed. They bring out a Mr. Smee, and now some of the questing is going to be in their favor. I am going to decide to ink the Alice, and then I am going to play my Sisu so I can start drawing stuff, and getting cards and setting up my hand while they are bringing up the Mr. Smee. They'll trade in the Mr. Smee into my Mim, which is weird. We should have quest with it as long as you can, make me trade into it. I quest with my Sisu first, and then grab the second part of the duck combo. Now I have some of the duck combo. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to ink card, and I have 2 on the field. And I will be ready for when I get my 3rd duck. Hopefully I will get it. I'm waiting for my opponent to now quest. They bring out a fox to get rid of the Sishu as fast as I can, because they don't want that deal with that at all. And then they are going to ink another card and bring out another Mr. Smee. I am in my element here with the ducks. I am going to wait one more turn by bringing out a caterpillar so I can make them focus on the caterpillar instead of my Huey, Dewey, and Louie combo. I keep back the other one, like the 3rd duck, so that I can get my draw off. They are also going to get a bunch of draws because of the Queen's Castle. I bring out the Louie and I start doing my draws, power up my caterpillar, decide if I want to attack into the castle or not. I decide not to and go for more questing as long as I drop the Pinocchio and then ink the Alice, which is not that useful right now. I bring out a Rafiki, and then now I can meet their cards case. I drew into another Huey, so I don't mind losing my Huey if they get rid of it. Most people will get rid of the Huey. So when I let my opponent go, they decide to sing to draw some more cards so they can keep advantages with me. They do not like the fact that my caterpillar is giving me a lot of lore, so his Smee will die at the end of the turn. They get rid of the other duck that doesn't draw, which is unfortunate for me, but then they get rid of the other duck with a Madam Mim, 2nd fox, which is unfortunate. They also do the Long King of Zeus to get rid of all 3 ducks. That is a lot of expense just to get rid of all my ducks, which I don't mind. That I'm now questing for free with my Pinocchio, and then starting to get rid of some of their cards. I'd rather not them having more draws off of the Queen's Castle, and I will pass and let them go. We'll see what they have for me here. They use a Yzma, and they are going to target one of my characters to put back to the deck and draw 2. I have another Huey set up, which is interesting. If I draw another duck, then I can actually just play all 3 ducks and then go right away into a free draw 3. Now, especially with the Cogsworth out protecting them, it's going to be very hard for them to kill the ducks right off the bat. They should have chosen the ducks instead of the other cards. I did get all 3 Huey, ducks again, and then I just quest with my Huey and then draw 3 cards and then get a support on my Cogsworth. I decide to ink another card, bring it out, and then quest with the Cogsworth, so I'm very close to the end game here. My opponent's trying to decide how they're going to match this now. They get rid of 2 characters to try to kill my Cogsworth, and the whole deal is done here. I have now 4 ink to win here, and there's no way for them to catch up unless they have another direct damage card in hand. They hit me with a pile of cannons, and that's pretty much all they can do. That's not enough to kill my character. So at this point, I gave them the well played, and they concede, and we'll move on to the next game. This is the same person, actually. They did want to do a rematch, and this time I decided to get a whole bunch of characters that were going to be in direct damage way. So I did Popsicle, draw card. I have 2 Rafikis in hand, which is unfortunate, and 2 of the ducks that the same ducks I don't really need. They drop a Mr. Smee. I drop a couple Rafikis because I can challenge into any of their characters that they turn sideways. They are trying to decide what they want to do. They drop a second Mr. Smee. It's a mere match of Shadow Clone Jutsu characters. Geez. So we drop a bunch of inkable targets. We try to make our Rafiki stronger with the Dewey. I think that is Dewey, and we are going to try to sing friends on the other side to get more ducks. I draw into 2 more Rafikis, which is really unfortunate. I decide to bring out another Rafiki. I'm going to mash their whole field as much as I can, power up the 1 Rafiki, and then just start getting some lore off of that. At this point, I am not seeing any of my duck combos, so I'm trying to hold back at least 1 duck. That Smee will dive at the end of turn if it doesn't get bounced back. and they're doing a bunch of inking. They're bringing out the King's Castle. My Rafikis are all aimed and ready for that castle because they can kill it. I also have a Madam Mim Fox that can kill the castle also. So I sent 2 Rafikis into the castle to damage it, 1 into the Smee, so there's no more questing from that. Bounce back a Rafiki, take out the castle, and then attempt to drop another 2 Rafikis out, or I can do another Mim. So I do the Mim to have 3 Rafikis in hand, and it's just a monkey deck at this point. I have control over the field and until I dropped the Tinkerbell, which is unfortunate. Now they traded in their damage for a big guy that's hard for me to deal with. I'm trying to get rid of their draw engine and force it out. I drop a bunch of the ducks since I have 2 in hand. I now decide to bring out a Rafiki so that once that Tinkerbell is turned sideways, I can just straight up kill it. We are just waiting here for them to decide to go. They sing the Long Cane of Zeus to get rid of a buck because they already experienced this in their last game, and they will not take that again. They send back the Tinkerbell back to their hand, and I decide just to quest with my character, my Fox, get rid of my White Rabbit, play out the Rafiki in case they have a whole new world, and then I decide to quest with no one else because I don't want to lose it to the Tinkerbell. Now, trying to attack the Tinkerbell when it comes out. I take 2 more damage on my characters, and then they are going to trade their Fox into my Madam Snake if they wish to get rid of it, which they don't. So I drop a Cogsworth, I heal up my Snake, and then I'm waiting for them to turn that Tinkerbell sideways so I can just get rid of it. That's why I'm not questing right now. And they are just questing with their one character I can't touch, trying to get some more draws off. Still trying to get more draws off. They're trying to get so much draws so that they can take care of the field before anything else happens to their characters. They end up getting the whole new grab your swords, which ends up making the game more in their favor. They do drop the Tinkerbell in a exerted state, and I try to get rid of it with a couple characters, and I decide to quest with my Cogsworth, and then they get rid of it with their Madam Mim Fox. I shouldn't have turned that sideways. I should have if I wanted to sacrifice it, get rid of Tinkerbell, but now they're bouncing back the Fox, and then they're doing the Fox combo that I did earlier in the video. I'm just trying to catch up as much as I can, get rid of their nuisance of a Tinkerbell, and then they get a good lore off of that. They draw 2 outs to my last character I have, and that's pretty much it. At this point, I have no way of winning. They're gonna quest, and at this point, I am going to show I have nothing left and concede from here. Well, the games I've won were 2, and then the games I've lost were 2. The deck can win sometimes, and I do recommend it. You might want to change up a lot of the cards in the deck to make it more like in a different direction. I do recommend these 2 colors for the Alice deck. It can be good. I do recommend maybe we're starting more testing with different types of cards. Maybe the duck package wasn't the best for this deck, and maybe it was something else that relies more on the Mim and Merlin combos more to draw some more. But the Alice boost, it does work, and she can sing songs right away. The mass amount of lore you get off the Caterpillar is great, and I do recommend trying this out and building it yourself and seeing how you like it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.